Patience is power. Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to explore one of the most profound yet often misunderstood qualities we can cultivate: patience. In a world that constantly emphasizes speed and instant gratification, patience is often regarded as a passive trait, something that simply involves waiting. But in truth, patience is far more than this. Patience is power. At its core, patience is not about enduring the passage of time. It's about how we approach the moments that time brings. Patience, when understood deeply, becomes the very foundation of personal growth, emotional strength, and success. It requires us to control not just our actions, but also our emotions. It asks us to delay immediate gratification and make choices that serve our long-term development, rather than seeking short-term pleasures that can ultimately lead to our downfall. Consider for a moment how difficult it is to delay your desires. In every instance of life, there's an impulse, a rush toward the easy, the quick, the immediate. But true growth in any endeavor requires the opposite. It requires that we resist this impulse and instead focus on what will bring us lasting fulfillment. This is the essence of patience, the ability to wait, the strength to endure, and the wisdom to act at the right moment. You see, time is the greatest ally of all. Over time, the small actions we take, the effort we put in, the setbacks we endure, they all add up. The key is consistency. Patience is not about passively waiting for things to happen. It's about taking deliberate action, even when progress is slow or unseen. It's about planting seeds and tending to them, knowing that one day, with time and effort, they will grow into something extraordinary. But without patience, that seed will never be nurtured to its potential. Without patience, we give up too soon, we quit before the breakthrough happens. Patience also builds resilience. When things don't go as planned, when life presents its most difficult challenges, patience allows us to persevere. It's the strength to stay committed even when the path seems uncertain, to endure through the discomfort and struggle, knowing that this too shall pass. The ability to withstand the turbulence of life and remain steady is one of the greatest powers you can cultivate. It strengthens the mind, fortifies the spirit, and sharpens the clarity of purpose. And as much as patience is crucial to personal growth, it is just as vital in how we relate to others. Leadership, true leadership, is about guiding others with patience. It's about recognizing that everyone has their own journey, their own timing, and their own challenges. Leaders who practice patience do not force outcomes or rush processes. They understand that growth is a journey, not a sprint. Henceforth, leaders who are patient and at all times do not reach the same level of accomplishment that they reached to the previous level. In closing, I urge you to remember this: patience is power. It is the quiet strength that enables us to continue when others would quit. It is the foundation of success, the resilience needed to push through adversity, and the discipline to stay on course even when the reward seems distant. So take a moment today to reflect on the power of patience in your own life. Commit to cultivating it, and in time you will see just how transformative it can be. Patience is often misunderstood. In a fast-pacing world where we are constantly encouraged to move quickly and seek immediate results, patience is often seen as passive waiting, a sort of inaction. But patience is not about simply waiting for something to happen. It is much more profound than that. Patience at its core is the ability to approach challenges with a calm and collected mindset, to face difficulties without being overwhelmed by frustration or negativity. It is a dynamic force that requires mental strength and emotional control, not just the mere passing of time. And when we talk about patience, we are referring to a mindset, a way of being that allows us to endure challenges without losing our ability to make sound decisions. It's the opposite of impulsive action. It's the ability to pause, reflect, and choose a thoughtful course of action, even when things are not going as we expect. In this way, patience becomes a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of life. Think about the times when you've been faced with a difficult situation. It could be something personal, like a relationship challenge, or like a setback at work, or an obstacle in achieving a goal. In these moments, there's a natural tendency to want things to change quickly. We feel the pressure to make decisions right away, to fix problems, and to see immediate results. But in doing so, we often act out of emotion, rushing toward a solution that may not be the best one. This is where patience becomes invaluable. Patience is about taking a step back in moments of difficulty. It's the ability to stay calm when everything around you feels chaotic. This allows you to keep a clear mind, to analyze the situation more objectively, and to make better decisions. In those moments when impatience creeps in, it can cloud your judgment and lead to poor choices. On the other hand, patience gives you the opportunity to assess all possibilities, weighing the pros and cons before making any move. It allows you to choose wisely rather than hastily. This kind of emotional regulation is a skill that takes practice. It's easy to lose patience when things aren't going your way. We all face moments of frustration, moments when the situation seems unbearable, and our natural inclination is to rush toward a resolution. But true patience is not about suppressing those emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging them and still choosing to remain composed, not allowing the emotional storm to dictate your actions. When we cultivate patience, we begin to understand that the process itself is just as important as the outcome. So much of life's growth happens in the waiting, the times when progress is not immediately visible, the moments when it feels like nothing is changing. But this is where patience becomes a transformative force. When you are patient, you can allow the necessary time for growth, learning, and change. You stop rushing and start allowing things to unfold at their own pace, knowing that true development takes time. Patience also plays a critical role in managing expectations. We often set ourselves up for disappointment by expecting quick results, and when things don't happen as fast as we want them to, we become frustrated and demotivated. Patience teaches us to set more realistic expectations, to understand that everything in life operates on its own timeline. Whether it's a career progression, a personal goal, or a creative endeavor, things will take time to develop. Patience helps us embrace this natural rhythm and stay committed to the process without becoming disheartened by delays. Another important aspect of patience is its relationship with perseverance. Life doesn't always go according to plan. There are setbacks, failures, and obstacles along the way. When faced with adversity, impatience can make us give up or change direction too soon. Patience, however, enables us to continue moving forward even when the road ahead is unclear. Impatience gives us the resilience to endure the tough times, to keep trying, and to stay focused on the long-term vision, even when immediate results are not visible. Patience is also closely tied to self-discipline. When you are patient, you develop the ability to delay gratification, to resist the urge for immediate pleasure, and to stay committed to long-term goals. It's about making choices that serve your future self rather than acting impulsively based on temporary desires. This is the true power of patience, the ability to focus on what matters most, to stay aligned with your values and your vision, and to pursue your goals with steady persistence. In conclusion, patience is not a passive state. It is an active, powerful force that requires emotional regulation, self-discipline, and resilience. It allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom, to make better decisions, and to remain focused on our long-term goals. Patience teaches us that true growth takes time, that progress is often slow and steady, and that we must trust in the process, even when we can't see immediate results. When we embrace patience, we unlock the ability to endure, to persevere, and to thrive. It's not simply about waiting for things to happen. It's about developing the strength and the wisdom to stay the course, no matter how long it takes. Patience is deeply connected to emotional regulation. When we talk about emotional regulation, we are referring to the ability to manage and respond to emotional experiences in a healthy and constructive way. It involves the capacity to experience emotions without letting them take control of our actions, to remain calm and composed even when confronted with stress, frustration, or difficult circumstances. Patience, in essence, is a powerful form of emotional regulation. It's the ability to delay immediate responses to emotional triggers and instead approach situations with a sense of composure, clarity, and wisdom. In many ways, patience serves as a buffer between emotional impulses and our reactions. It allows us to pause before we act, giving us the space to reflect on how we truly want to respond rather than reacting out of anger, frustration, or impulsivity. Think about the moments when something goes wrong, when a mistake is made at work, when you're faced with a disagreement, or when an unexpected challenge arises. In these situations, the emotions you feel can easily take over. Anger, frustration, anxiety, and disappointment can all flood in, and if left unchecked, these emotions can lead to rash decisions, outbursts, or behaviors we later regret. Patience offers us a powerful way to regulate these emotions. Rather than letting negative feelings dictate our behavior, patience gives us the ability to step back and observe our emotions without immediately acting on them. Patience gives us the ability to step back and observe our emotions without immediately acting on them. This space between the emotion and the response is crucial because it allows us to think more clearly and make decisions that are aligned with our long-term well-being, rather than reacting in a way that may offer temporary relief but lead to negative consequences. The connection between patience and emotional regulation is especially important in stressful situations. When faced with high-pressure scenarios, such as tight deadlines, confrontations, or difficult decisions, the ability to stay patient can make all the difference. It's easy to become overwhelmed when things aren't going as planned, and it's tempting to let frustration or panic take over. But when we practice patience, we can maintain our composure in these moments. Instead of reacting emotionally, we are able to take a step back, breathe, and approach the situation with a more level-headed perspective. In fact, patience is an essential tool for emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life is filled with challenges, disappointments, and setbacks, and our ability to cope with these difficulties often depends on how well we manage our emotions in the face of adversity. If we let negative emotions control us, we can become discouraged, overwhelmed, or even give up entirely. Patience, however, gives us the inner strength to endure these tough times, to stay calm when things are difficult, and to keep moving forward with a sense of purpose and clarity. It allows us to process our emotions in a way that enables growth and learning, rather than being swept away by the storm of negativity. Patience doesn't just apply to external situations. It also plays a significant role in how we manage our internal emotional landscape. Many of us struggle with impatience toward our own emotions. We often feel the need to quickly resolve our inner conflicts, to push away feelings of sadness, anger, or disappointment, or to seek immediate gratification to soothe emotional discomfort. But true emotional regulation requires us to be patient with ourselves. It requires us to acknowledge our emotions, sit with them for a moment, and allow ourselves the time we need to process them in a healthy way. This internal patience can be particularly challenging, especially in a world that often encourages us to suppress or ignore our emotions. We are often taught to move past negative feelings quickly and to get over it. But this approach only leads to a buildup of unresolved emotions. True emotional regulation requires us to face our feelings, to allow them to come and go, without forcing them away or letting them overwhelm us. Patience is the tool that enables this process, allowing us to process emotions at our own pace and without judgment. Patience also plays a significant role in how we interact with others. In relationships, whether personal or professional, we often encounter situations that test our emotional control. Misunderstandings, conflicts, and disagreements are inevitable, but how we handle them makes all the difference. Patience allows us to remain calm during disagreements, to listen carefully to others' perspectives, and to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting out of frustration or anger. It helps us to maintain a sense of empathy, to understand that others may be experiencing their own emotional struggles, and to navigate the complexities of human interactions with grace and understanding. Then, when we practice patience, we become more attuned to the needs and feelings of others. We are less likely to rush to judgment or assume the worst, and more likely to offer support, encouragement, and understanding. This fosters stronger, more compassionate relationships and helps us to create environments where people feel safe, respected, and heard. In the context of decision-making, emotional regulation through patience allows us to avoid making impulsive choices based on momentary emotional states. Often, when we make decisions in the heat of the moment, whether driven by anger, fear, or excitement, we end up regretting those decisions later. Patience, however, helps us to step back, reflect, and consider the long-term consequences of our actions. It empowers us to make choices that are not driven by transient emotions, but by rational thinking and a deeper understanding of what is truly important to us. Now, in conclusion, patience is a powerful tool for emotional regulation. It helps us manage our emotions, particularly in stressful or challenging situations, by giving us the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It fosters resilience, self-awareness, and empathy, and plays a key role in making sound decisions that align with our long-term goals. So by cultivating patience, we can enhance our ability to regulate our emotions and navigate life's challenges with greater clarity, composure, and wisdom. Patience, in essence, is not just a virtue. It is a fundamental skill for emotional well-being and personal growth. Time is one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It shapes our experiences, determines the outcomes of our efforts, and plays a crucial role in our growth and development. Yet, in a society that constantly emphasizes the need for instant results, we often forget the critical role that time plays in achieving lasting success. In this context, patience becomes a vital tool, because it is through patience that we allow time to work for us rather than against us. Time is the greatest ally of those who understand that growth, progress, and mastery take time, and patience is the vehicle that enables us to leverage this precious resource effectively. The process of growth is inherently gradual. Whether we are developing new skills, building relationships, or working towards a long-term goal, progress is often slow and incremental. This is a hard truth that many people overlook in their pursuit of quick results. We are often driven by the desire for instant gratification, the idea that we should see immediate outcomes from our efforts. When we don't, frustration sets in and we begin to question whether our efforts are worth it. Yet, it's important to understand that true success rarely comes quickly or without sustained effort over time. Patience teaches us that the most valuable achievements are often the ones that require the greatest amount of time and persistence. Consider the process of learning any new skill. At first, it feels awkward and uncomfortable. You make mistakes, struggle to grasp the concepts, and experience setbacks that can make you wonder if you'll ever get it right. But over time, as you continue to practice, the discomfort begins to fade. What was once difficult becomes easier. With each passing day, your abilities improve. By gradual, often imperceptible progress is a direct result of time and the patience to persist through the initial struggles. If you give up too soon, if you lose patience and abandon your efforts, you rob yourself of the opportunity to see the fruits of your labor. Patience enables you to trust the process and allow time to bring about the results you are working toward. This principle applies not just to personal development, but to every area of life. In relationships, for instance, it takes time to build trust, understanding, and mutual respect. These qualities cannot be rushed. They are nurtured over time through consistent effort, communication, and shared experiences. When we try to speed up the process, forcing connections to develop too quickly, we often miss the depth and richness that can come from taking the time to truly understand one another. Patience allows relationships to grow naturally at their own pace, leading to stronger, more meaningful connections. In the professional world, success rarely comes overnight. Whether you're pursuing a career, building a business, or mastering a craft, there are no shortcuts. It takes years of hard work, setbacks, and learning from mistakes to achieve real success. Time and patience allow us to accumulate knowledge, refine our skills, and gain the experience necessary to reach our full potential. Those who are impatient and seek shortcuts often find themselves disappointed because the quick paths they take are rarely sustainable in the long run. Patience allows us to focus on long-term development, to stay committed to our goals even when the results are not immediately visible. The idea of delayed gratification is central to understanding the role of time and growth. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the urge for immediate rewards in favor of larger, more meaningful rewards down the road. This is a critical skill, especially in a world where distractions and instant pleasures are always within reach. Patience teaches us to resist the pull of short-term gratification and to invest our energy into things that will provide more lasting fulfillment in the future. It teaches us to trust that the efforts we put in today will pay off, even if we don't see the results right away, whether it's working toward a financial goal, building a fitness routine, or learning a new language. Patience helps us stay focused on the bigger picture, knowing that the rewards are worth the wait. Another essential aspect of patience and time is resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. We all face obstacles along the way, whether it's a personal failure, an unexpected challenge, or external circumstances that delay our progress. In these moments, patience allows us to endure. It provides the strength to keep moving forward when things seem to stall. Time, coupled with patience, enables us to recover from setbacks and continue progressing toward our goals. Influxes of high performance, such as becoming a postdoctoral researcher, making a big breakthrough in biomedicine, it's important to remember that success is not a linear path. There are ups and downs, twists and turns, and moments when we feel like we are not making any progress at all. Patience teaches us to weather these storms, to keep moving, and to trust that the work we put in during the difficult times will eventually lead to growth. The time also plays a crucial role in the refinement of our goals. As we progress in any area of life, our goals and priorities evolve. What may have seemed like the most important goal at one point may shift as we gain more knowledge and experience. Patience allows us to remain flexible, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to refine our goals as we grow. It's not about sticking rigidly to a single plan, but rather being open to the natural evolution of our dreams. In close quote. The more time we spend working toward a goal, the more we learn about what truly matters to us, and the more we are able to refine our approach to align with our deeper desires. Ultimately, the key to harnessing time as a powerful ally is patience. Time is not something we can control or rush. It is a force that works in its own rhythm, regardless of our impatience. By practicing patience, we align ourselves with the natural flow of time. We stop forcing outcomes and start allowing things to unfold at their own pace. This mindset shift allows us to trust in the process of growth, to appreciate the journey, and to recognize that time is not our enemy, but our greatest partner in creating meaningful, lasting success. Through patience, we unlock the potential of time to transform our lives, making gradual progress toward our goals and reaping the rewards of our efforts in due course. To see which truly incredible science movies we've witnessed, it is applicable only to the study of human history. The pursuit of mastery in any field is not something that happens quickly or without consistent effort over time. Mastery is the result of dedication, practice, and an unwavering commitment to improving, even when the path forward seems slow or uncertain. It requires a mindset that understands that every small step taken toward improvement, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, is part of a larger process that eventually leads to greater proficiency and expertise. Patience is the cornerstone of this process, for it is through patience that we develop the perseverance needed to continue when progress is slow, and the ability to stay the course even when mastery feels out of reach. When we look at the journey toward mastering any skill or craft, it's important to recognize that mastery does not come easily or in a linear fashion. There are no shortcuts. The process is long, filled with moments of frustration, doubt, and failure. At the start, there is often the sense of inadequacy as we confront the gap between where we are and where we want to be. But patience teaches us that this gap is not something to fear. It is simply part of the process. And it is the space in which growth occurs, the ability to stay committed, to continue practicing, and to learn from our mistakes, even when it feels like we are not making significant progress, is what leads us to mastery. One of the key elements of patience in mastering a skill is the willingness to embrace failure as part of the journey. Failure, in many ways, is an inevitable part of the process. We will make mistakes, encounter setbacks, and face challenges that seem insurmountable. But it is through these failures that we gain the lessons that ultimately lead to growth. Patience allows us to view failure not as something to avoid or something that reflects poorly on us, but as a necessary and valuable experience that contributes to our development. Without the patience to work through failure and learn from it, we would never improve or achieve mastery. Patience is necessary when it comes to the incremental nature of progress. Progress in any field is often not immediately visible. When we first begin learning something new, it may feel like we are taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. We might not see any tangible evidence of improvement, and it's easy to become discouraged. But mastery is achieved through consistent effort over time, and the progress we make may not always be obvious in the short term. It takes patience to stay focused on the long-term goal and to trust that even when we don't see immediate results, the work we are putting in is adding up. It's the compounding effect of small, consistent actions that eventually leads to expertise. Patience also helps us to develop the discipline necessary to practice regularly. Mastery does not happen by chance. It requires deliberate, focused practice. And practice, especially in the early stages, can feel tedious and repetitive. It's easy to get distracted or to lose motivation, especially when we are not seeing the immediate payoff we expect. Patience also enables us to develop the resilience needed to handle the inevitable challenges that arise during a transformation. No significant change happens without obstacles. These challenges can range from external factors, such as criticism from others or unexpected life events, to internal struggles like self-doubt, fear, or resistance to change. When we encounter these obstacles, it's easy to feel discouraged or tempted to give up. However, patience allows us to navigate these challenges with grace and persistence. Rather than seeing obstacles as insurmountable, we begin to view them as opportunities for growth. With patience, we learn that every challenge is a chance to build resilience, to strengthen our resolve, and to continue moving forward despite the difficulties. Through resilience, patience fosters a sense of gratitude and mindfulness in the process of transformation. Instead of focusing solely on the end result, patience encourages us to be present in the journey. We learn to appreciate the small changes and the incremental progress that we make along the way. Each moment becomes an opportunity for growth, and we become more attuned to the lessons that life has to offer during this process. Patience teaches us to slow down, to be mindful of our thoughts and actions, and to appreciate the present moment, rather than constantly yearning for the future version of ourselves. This mindfulness not only helps us to stay grounded during the process of change, but also fosters a deeper sense of gratitude for the transformation itself. Patience helps us to break free from the comparison trap. In a world where social media and external pressures often set unrealistic standards for success and personal growth, it's easy to compare our progress to others. We may feel like we are falling behind or not achieving enough, especially when we see others seemingly achieving transformation effortlessly. Patience allows us to release this comparison and focus on our own unique journey. We learn to trust our own timing and understand that everyone's path is different. What works for someone else may not work for us, and that's okay. Patience encourages us to honor our own process, to take the time we need, and to trust that we are exactly where we need to be at this moment. At the heart of personal transformation is the understanding that it's not about a singular, final moment of change. It's about an ongoing process of becoming. We are never truly done transforming. Every stage of life brings new opportunities for growth and evolution. Patience allows us to embrace this continuous process of change without rushing toward a fixed idea of who we should be. It teaches us to be patient with the unfolding of our lives, to trust that the best version of ourselves will emerge in time, and to allow that process to unfold naturally. Patience is essential to personal transformation because it allows us to navigate the challenges, setbacks, and discomforts that come with change. It enables us to stay committed to the process, to break old patterns, to develop resilience, and to be compassionate with ourselves along the way. Personal transformation is a slow and steady journey, one that requires time, effort, and a deep trust in the process. Patience helps us to honor this journey, to appreciate the progress we make, and to remain steadfast in our pursuit of becoming the best version of ourselves. Through patience, we can unlock the power of personal growth and transformation, embracing the journey of change with openness, grace, and perseverance. Patience not only affects our personal development, but it also plays an essential role in the way we approach challenges and obstacles. Life is full of difficulties, some small and manageable, others monumental and seemingly insurmountable. We encounter obstacles in many forms, in our personal lives, professional journeys, relationships, and health. The human response to these obstacles often varies, and it is in these moments that our ability to practice patience becomes most critical. Patience allows us to approach challenges with resilience, perspective, and wisdom, rather than impulsively reacting or giving up prematurely. It helps us stay grounded when everything seems chaotic and uncertain. Sometimes temporary in-relation resources are spared. For example, time off when a baby is at risk. The first key element in dealing with challenges through patience is the ability to accept adversity as an inevitable part of life. Challenges are not some anomaly to be avoided or resisted. They are an inherent part of the human experience. No matter how much we plan or how careful we are, difficulties will arise. The moment we accept that challenges are a normal part of life, we free ourselves from the frustration of trying to avoid them. Patience helps us not to fear adversity, but rather to face it with an open mind. It allows us to approach problems with a mindset that understands difficulties as opportunities to grow rather than roadblocks. When we approach challenges in this way, we are not only prepared to face them, but are more likely to learn valuable lessons from them. Patience enables us to pause and reflect before reacting to a challenge. When an obstacle arises, the initial impulse is often to react immediately, perhaps out of fear, anger, or frustration. These immediate reactions, however, are often knee-jerk responses that don't take into account the bigger picture or the best possible way to handle the situation. Patience gives us the space to slow down and take a breath before making any decisions. This patience gives us the space to slow down and take a breath before making any decisions. Instead of rushing into a solution, we can take the time to evaluate our options, consider different perspectives, and choose the response that aligns with our values. This pause can prevent hasty decisions that we may later regret and can help us approach the challenge in a way that is thoughtful and deliberate. Patience helps us to avoid the tendency to seek shortcuts when confronted with a challenge. In today's world, there is often a temptation to look for quick fixes or easy solutions to problems. We may want to eliminate discomfort or get back to our desired outcome as soon as possible. However, challenges are rarely resolved through shortcuts. Most obstacles require a careful, step-by-step approach that can only be achieved through sustained effort over time. In today's society, it's easy for everything to be done quickly. Patience encourages us to recognize that there are no easy paths when it comes to overcoming real difficulties. It helps us to commit to the long-term process of problem solving rather than trying to rush through it. By staying patient, we can create more sustainable solutions that address the root of the problem rather than masking the symptoms with temporary fixes. At times, patience also helps us to stay focused on the present moment rather than getting overwhelmed by the enormity of the challenge. When we face something difficult, it can feel as though the entire weight of the problem is on our shoulders, and we may become consumed with worry about the future. In these moments, it's easy to lose sight of the small steps that will lead us to a solution. Patience teaches us to break down challenges into manageable pieces. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by the entire scope of the problem, we can focus on the next step in front of us. Patience reminds us that no challenge is insurmountable when we approach it one step at a time. This mindset not only alleviates unnecessary stress, but also provides us with the clarity to move forward with confidence. Patience also fosters the resilience necessary to keep going even when the solution seems distant. Obstacles often take longer to overcome than we expect, and the road to resolution may be winding and full of setbacks. Without patience, we might become discouraged when progress is slower than anticipated. Patience, however, helps us to understand that setbacks are not signs of failure, but natural parts of the process. With patience, we can see these setbacks as opportunities to reevaluate our approach, refine our strategies, and gain new insights. Rather than giving up, we are encouraged to persist, knowing that each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to overcoming the obstacle. Patience reinforces the belief that progress, even slow and steady, is still progress. Patience nurtures the mental and emotional fortitude necessary to face difficult situations with a calm and composed demeanor. When we face adversity, our emotions can become a significant barrier to making rational decisions. Feelings of anger, fear, or frustration may cloud our judgment, making it difficult to find solutions or take the right course of action. Patience, however, allows us to manage our emotions. It helps us remain calm in the face of adversity, to maintain a clear head, and to avoid being driven solely by emotional impulses. In this state of calm, we are better able to assess the situation, think critically, and make decisions that serve our long-term well-being rather than our immediate emotional reactions. In some instances, patience is required to simply allow time to heal. Not every challenge can be resolved immediately, and some obstacles require more time to work themselves out. This might be the case when dealing with personal loss, emotional pain, or complicated relationships. In such situations, there may be little we can do to fix the issue quickly. But patience allows us to step back and recognize that healing, whether physical or emotional, is a process that takes time. In these moments, patience encourages us to trust that with time, things will improve, even if the resolution is not immediately visible. It teaches us to surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life and to allow time to work its magic. Patience fosters empathy and understanding in the way we approach challenges with others. When faced with difficulties in relationships, for example, patience allows us to extend compassion and grace to others, recognizing that everyone has their own struggles and pace of growth. When we are patient, we are less likely to become frustrated with others when they're not meeting our expectations. Instead, we can allow them the time they need to work through their own challenges. This patience helps to build stronger, more resilient relationships as we learn to support one another through difficult times rather than expecting instant resolutions or immediate perfection. Patience provides us with the wisdom to discern when to take action and when to wait. Some challenges require immediate intervention and decisive action, while others demand careful consideration and time. Patience enables us to develop the discernment necessary to understand the difference. It helps us avoid reacting impulsively to situations that may need time to unfold. By practicing patience, we become more attuned to the rhythms of life and more capable of choosing the right moment to act. Patience is an indispensable tool when it comes to facing life's challenges. It helps us approach adversity with a calm, resilient, and clear mindset. Patience allows us to break down complex problems into manageable steps, avoid hasty decisions, and maintain a sense of perspective during difficult times. It helps us navigate setbacks with grace, develop emotional resilience, and extend compassion to others. In the end, patience doesn't just help us overcome challenges, it transforms the way we approach life itself, providing us with the strength, wisdom, and endurance to persevere through any obstacle that comes our way.